I feel like in 2024, um, January, February, March, April. I feel like in April and May of 2024 is going to be better. I feel things will get brighter. I feel like things will be lifted. Hi, everybody. My name is Kimberly Merida. Thank you for having me here today. My life before my near-death experience was completely different than it is right now. I was a nurse assistant and I worked on many entertainment television shows, helping as an on-camera medical assistant, helping set up entertainment shots to make them look as real as possible. I worked on Grey's Anatomy, All My Children, lots of daytime shows and nighttime entertainment shows. I also was working in many different kinds of rehabilitation uh, in places around Los Angeles. And as a nurse's aide, I was working at Cedars-Sinai before I had my accident. God, I was at that time in my life, I was working a lot. And I was taking care of my grandmother also. She was around, I think, 94 years old and a nursing home. And I had just got a really great position on a big television show at the time. I was also working at the hospital. And I remember I was super excited. I was doing all this at once, working, I don't know if you have the experience, working lots of hours. And I remember I was going to the set and I went in to get into a car and the car door flew off. The actually just a freak accident. And I was thrown into the middle of the street and my head just had blunt head trauma. And I didn't want to admit how bad I was, but I had blacked out unconscious for quite a few moments there. And then I still tried to keep going to work several days after that. But finally, I had collapsed and was vomiting profusely and got admitted into the hospital on Christmas Eve. And at that point, I was having problems functioning in my body. My organs were starting to shut down. They told my fiance, boyfriend at the time, that I wasn't going to make it. At that moment, at that time that was happening, I don't remember much was going on. I just remember I was really, really sick. Leading up to that point, um, I was in and out a lot within that week before I had gone into the hospital. I was kind of in this really weird haze. Um, so from the time I was hit from that car accident, freak accident, to going into the hospital, um, that whole time was kind of starting to crash. By the time I had gotten into the emergency room to actually coding leaving my body, um, I uh, had started, many doctors and nurses were trying to revive me. They were, I guess, trying to bring me back. I was feeling at that point, um, I remember completely out of my body. And I remember just sort of like you're in kind of this weird vibration of being lifted completely out of your body and above yourself. And there were like many doctors and nurses on top of me working on me. And I was just above myself hearing, "You're here to stay. You're here to stay." And I was feeling a bright, bright light, a ball of energy pushing down on my body. And I feel at that time it was the Christ light, it was God. saying, "You're here to stay, you're here to stay." And I was just being whooshed, up. And I experienced this amazing um, uh, frequency with, I believe it was the Holy Spirit, the omnipresent Jesus, and flashes of faces. And now I know it was my great grandmother, Josephina, my Italian great grandmother. Tons of roses, violet roses I was seeing, and just lots of light coming in. And just, it was just so fast, coming at me. And very surreal energies of vibrational frequencies all coming down in my body, but most profound hard energy crushing down in my chest. What was interesting is that when I woke up from this, I was still kind of awake and not really. It was like back and forth going on all at the same time. Um, there was a lot of, uh, graphically speaking, a mess all over my body because they had been working on me to keep me here. Um, I had been uh, at the hospital for many months after that, not being able to leave. My legs were shaking, and I was um, definitely had received the Holy Spirit through my body. After that had happened, I could not walk, and I started to have speech problems, and my voice had started to change, and I was already starting to have, as you would say, I never knew what as was a near-death experience. I didn't know what that was. I was having a complete communication breakdown. Yeah, and I remember saying to my friend, I had experienced God. God came, and they said, everybody experienced God. I said, no, God came to me and helped me, be here. And they said, what is that? What are you talking about? And I knew I had seen Jesus. And I knew that I had heard, you're here to stay. Shortly after that, I had another near-death experience. And that second one was another one where I had fallen again. And my second near-death experience was very profound. And it was again me putting the back of my head. And I had a awakening that started having my eyes blink. And when I was little, my eyes blinked. And my eyes started shortly after the second hit to the back of my head. My eyes started communicating with the blinking again. What happened when I came home was I was getting over the first one, and I was about 99 pounds, and I was recuperating from the first one, and I had a 80-pound American Bulldog. And I was warned when I came home by the doctor that I would need to have nursing care. And I was having a nurse come by, and I was listening, but not all the way. And he needed to go out to the bathroom, and so they weren't here. And I thought I could take him just right out the front door. So I, you know, tried to take him out the front door just for a quick minute. But when we went out to the front door, a man walked by with a blower, to blow the lawn. And my dog thought that he was trying to hurt us. And he lunged towards the gardener. And when he lunged towards the gardener, I wasn't strong enough to hold Rocky back. He's an 80-pound American Bulldog pit bull. And when he did that, he accidentally threw me into the street, and I cracked my head open. And I did already have an injury there, but not as bad as the time that this just happened. And when he did that, it was a subdural hematoma to the back of my head. That is the time where I actually was the worst one. That was the worst one. I succinctly knew at that point I was probably going to be, it was over with for me, because that was the second concussion, and I blacked out, and I saw multiple angels. I saw a duality of heaven and hell, and the neighbor said that my dog Rocky never left my body. He laid on top of me while I was seriously bleeding. And I actually saw so many angels all around. I don't remember a lot after that, but I don't remember everything after that. I remember that the infinite sign of the Christ light, after that, saying, "You're to stay again," and then my gifts exploding after that, meaning I became a full-blown trans-median channel, meaning my purpose here now is to help people, and I became who I'm meant to be. That I'm now a full-blown psychic medium, trans-median channel, and that's what I do, is I help serve that way. That's what I do. But I do know that I should have died that day in the middle of the street, and he laid on my body, and also I had the chance of going over or staying. My will, I guess, was to stay. But I do remember seeing what I saw. That's for sure. I do know what I saw, which was the duality of heaven and hell. Now, how I do my mediumship is through my eyes. They blink, so they use my eyes to communicate with spirit. And I also I heal with my hands. And I was born with the blinking eyes as a baby, but I pushed it away. And after I had these experiences, they came back full blown. So now I do this all the time, throughout all over. And I expose, and that's what I do now, which I didn't do before. So to ask me about the future, I feel like in 2024, January, February, March, April. I feel like in April and May of 2024 is going to be better. I feel things will get brighter. I feel like things will be lifted. Yeah, meaning when I talk about brighter, I'm meaning that they're saying more people are coming together as a community, as helping their brothers and sisters. More people are gathering spirituality. More people are saying, we can do this on our own. We can help each other. We don't need to have someone communicating for us anymore. They're saying to me, Spirit is saying to me the number 8, which I'm getting chills because the 8 is the sign of the infinity sign. We're in the 8 right now, and in 10 years we're going to be in the 8 again. So in 2023 and 10 years from now is going to be very powerful again. We're in the year of the dragon, and we also, in 10 years from now, are going to be also in the big awakening. So this year, we're starting out kind of a little bit, right? But I'm getting chills right now because, like I say, in April, it's going to get brighter and stronger for us. I feel like people want to learn more. I feel like people are trying to understand that money is losing its energy and love is the new energy. Love is the new type of money. And so it's like kindness, respect, um, is the new money. So I feel like it's really important to, like my book I wrote is called Awakening to the Fifth Dimension. And awakening to the fifth dimension came from my near-death experience. If I hadn't had the NDE, I would never have had the 2 years of sitting in my wheelchair of recording it because I thought I would never survive. I had lost function of my kidney. I was in a collar for over a year and a half. They said I would never be able to hold up my neck. And something told me, record this book. And in the books, in the chanting and the meditation and prayer, I started to channel this book called Awakening to the Fifth Dimension because we're moving into the fifth dimension. We're leaving the third dimensional world. We're leaving fear, worry, dis-ease. Many people are depopulating right now because we have to raise our vibration. There's nowhere else to go. We have to eat better. We have to treat each other with more respect. And we have to honor our brothers and sisters. It's many ways to vibrate and raise your vibration and be high vibe. Couple of things. I love to journal, writing down your goals, make them happen. I love to tell my clients and my friends to do at least 5 minutes a day of exercising and moving your body. Honoring meditation. Meditation is sitting with your spirits. Like for me, I have so many spirit guides. I love my spirit guides. I love the angels. I help people connect to their angels and their guides. Everybody has angels and guides. Everybody has spirit guides. Learning to connect to them, learning who your guides are. So many numbers and frequencies and signs. You see signs and numbers, right? Like 333, 444, 11. When I crossed over, I remember looking over at the clock and there were 11s there. That's the sign of the angelic realm, the 11s. Many signs are here for us, like the thread of the 8. That's the infinity. We never die. We're never leaving. We're always transcending. So it's very important how we raise our vibration. Is every day we definitely need to meditate and always hear what you're saying manifest. Say good things. When you hear negative talk, let it go. Let the negative talk go. Always talk positively to yourself. Say good things to yourself. Good things. I love myself. The universe loves me. People love me. I love my brothers and sisters. Sending love out there. We can change the world. We can help the world shift to a higher vibration, how we self-talk. And I'm really into chanting and praying, though. I like calling in with groups and community together. Like, I have many groups of my own that I have on my website where people come in and do Zoom calls where we all pray together with community. But I do find, if they're talking about music, the 432 hertz music, I do find that is really good to raise your vibration. But I do find any music like Satnam Kar, like I have CDs out also with music. I do find when I was in the hospital and I couldn't move my legs and I kept shaking, I found that don't laugh, but I found Eminem. I found rap music healing me. and raising my vibration. I find music, all kinds of music, like the Beatles. I love Taylor Swift. I mean, I just like music is all in raising our vibration. After I had my near-death experience, I got studied at these medical institutes on my information coming in. I started getting lots of downloads about different types of water that's good to drink, water that is not good to ingest in our bodies, and then different types of foods to eat, different types of foods not to take. And so I became a medical intuitive, is what I'm called. I'm a medical intuitive. And so there was one that was very well known called Edgar Casey. And so he comes through me sometimes. So they suggest that we don't drink tap water, that we put a filter on our sink, and everywhere around the world, that we just do not have tap water, and we just do like a good filter. And then also there's certain types of water that's better than other types of water. The type of water that my spirit guides like is a water that has magnesium, potassium in it, and it's a water that we do like maybe with glass bottle or something of that sort, but we protect ourselves with good, clean spring water. We can heal ourselves through being highly aware and conscious of things that we eat, things that we say, how we honor our brothers and sisters, how we honor our body, how we love each other, how we respect each other. It's all a circlotron package. The world, how we're moving ourselves forward. We all have a gift. We're all here for a reason. We didn't come to the world at this time for no reason. We're all here at this time to witness this awakening together. I just want to say that um, don't be in fear. Um, open yourself up to the calling of love and understand that when you do feel afraid, open your heart and know that you can trust the spiritual love of God and the omnipresent, and go for your go for it. Go for what you want to do right now. Go for the love of what you feel you want to be, because it's life is beautiful, and it's good to be alive. Thank you so much for having me on your beautiful show. It was so amazing to be here today. My name is Kimberly Meredith, and you can reach out to me at my website, thehealingtrilogy.com, and I'm also on Instagram, Kimberly Meredith. So I'll go into more details. And I see that I'm like a stock market broker, and I see that the stock market has melted down like completely, thousands of points down, and I see a bunch of TVs in front of me, like a wall of televisions. And on the TVs, I see this world war, like ships being sunk, fighter jets bombing, fighter jets bombing. And I see just complete and total chaos around the whole world. And from the perspective of a stockbroker, he's just completely losing his mind. He's just losing his mind. He can't handle what he's seeing. And so after watching all the fighter jets and the bomber planes, the bombing cities, and I'm in space, and I see the northeast of the U.S., and I see just the wall of water completely destroy the entire East Coast. And when I mean completely, I mean like it went 100 miles. The water went really deep into the land. Like, people who are familiar with America will know what I'm talking about. But I saw the water go past New Jersey, the entire state, and like end up in Pennsylvania. So very, very deep into America. And I'm not entirely sure what caused this wave, but I just saw it happening from space. And that was the most profound one I've seen of what I perceive to be a future vision. And for the distant future, I saw really interesting like things with people working with energy to heal, and they're like working with sound and vibrations to create art and to create things, and they would like switch bodies, or like the consciousness would like go from one body to another, and it was really strange. And they would be like put in suspended animation, and like I actually saw people like being put in a deep sleep, and their consciousness would leave their body and they would go back into the past. So like they would be reborn into the past. So like this in the distant future. I think we have a really interesting solar eclipse coming up on April 8th. It's called, this is specific to the United States, but we have a what's called the next great American eclipse, and it's the first one was in August of 2017, and it cut like a line across the country going this way, the path of totality for the eclipse. And now we have another one that's going to cut a line going this way. So it makes like an X, the path of totality from the eclipse. All I can say is like be ready for anything. Uh, be ready for nothing or everything. 'Cause that's the only way I could put it. Like just be prepared for anything that comes our way, because it might, and it might be hard, and it already is. So, but don't be like, I'm not saying like give in to fear or be scared or nothing like that. I just mean like be in the state of awareness that anything can come. And so, and that blue consciousness left, and I turn my attention back to the white itself, and I plead with it to stay and beg it to stay. Um, it responds emotionally, not with language. It responds in like a heart energy, I guess you could call it. And it rejected me, and I was really hurt. I was really, really hurt. I didn't want to go at all. And it was a really sad moment. And it pushed me out of that sphere and back into everything was in reverse again. I saw the galaxy. I saw everything again in reverse. And I slammed back into my body. And I remember gasping for breath and being unable to breathe, and was very pale and sweaty and unwell. And the first thing I do is I get up and look at myself in the mirror, and I was as white as a ghost. I had bags under my eyes. I looked really bad. And so that moment, I kind of realized that I actually did die. And from then on, what proceeded later was the heart problem went away completely. There was no issues whatsoever. So I didn't have to. I went back to the doctor one time, and they said there's no issue, and they sent me home. And everything has changed. I mean, I've always been open-minded. Like, I've always been kind of an open-minded person, but at that time I was really unsure about what this was, and I still, honestly, still kind of am, because to me, it's still just as mysterious. That doesn't, it doesn't mean like I have all the answers now. Actually, I have more questions than answers. But the mystery is part of what's beautiful about it, though. So, but my perspective has changed in the sense that I know we're eternal. So that's not something I speculate. That's not something, oh, maybe. For me, this is an absolute undeniable fact that we are forever. As humans, as beings on this planet, that's one of the main things that changed. Oh, thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. It really is fulfilling to me. to share my story, and if it has a positive effect on people, that makes me really, really joyful. And because of people like you who allow me to share my experience, I'm really grateful for you as well. So thank you.